Either kill me, or take me as I am, because I'll be damned if I ever change. Religions are the cradles of despotism. In order to know virtue, we must acquaint ourselves with vice. Destruction, hence, like creation, is one of nature's mandates. It is always by way of pain one arrives at pleasure. True happiness lies in the senses, and virtue gratifies none of them. We are no guiltier in following the primitive impulses that govern us than is the Nile for her floods or the sea for her waves. One must do violence to the object of one's desire. When it surrenders, the pleasure is greater. Sexual pleasure is, I agree, a passion to which all others are subordinate, but in which they all unite. If it is the dirty element that gives pleasure to the act of lust, then the dirtier it is, the more pleasurable it is bound to be. Can we become other than what we are? Let us give ourselves indiscriminately to everything our passions suggest, and we will always be happy. Certain souls may seem harsh to others, but it is just a way be known only to them of caring and feeling more deeply. Love is stronger than pride. The man who alters his way of thinking to suit others is a fool. The only way to a woman's heart is along the path of torment. I know none other as sure. There is no God. Nature sufficeth unto herself, in no wise hath she need of an author. Nothing quite encourages as does one's first unpunished crime. Social order, at the expense of liberty, is hardly a bargain. The past encourages me, the present electrifies me, and I have little fear for the future, and my hope is that the rest of my life shall by far surpass the extravagances of my youth. Variety, multiplicity are the two most powerful vehicles of lust. I want to be the victim of his errors. One has always had too much, when one has had enough. Your body is the church, where nature asks to be reverenced. Truth titillates the imagination, far less than fiction. All universal moral principles are idle fancies. I assumed that everything must yield to me, that the entire universe had to flatter my whims, and that I had the right to satisfy them at will. It is not my mode of thought that has caused my misfortunes, but the mode of thought of others. The law, which attempts a man's life, is impractical, unjust, inadmissible. What we are doing here is only the image of what we would like to do. Crime is to the passions what nervous fluid is to life. It sustains them, it supplies their strength. I don't know what the heart is, not I only use the word to denote the mind's frailties. The state of a moral man is one of tranquility and peace. The state of an immoral man is one of perpetual unrest. My vengeance needs blood. Self-interest lies behind all that men do, forming the important motive for all their actions. This rule has never deceived me. Fear not lest precautions and protective contrivances diminish your pleasure. Mystery only adds thereto. A little less vice is virtuousness in a very vicious heart. The impossibility of outraging nature is the greatest anguish man can know. To lie is always a necessity for women, above all when they choose to deceive. Falsehood becomes vital to them. Sex without pain is like food without taste. It is only by imitating the vices of others that I have earned my misfortunes. Women are not made for one single man, 'tis for men at large nature created them. The greatest pleasures are born of conquered repugnancies. The reasoning man, who scorns the prejudices of simpletons, necessarily becomes the enemy of simpletons. When a woman wants sex, she always talks about her former lovers. The slave preaches the virtues of kindness and humility to his master, because as a slave he has need of them. I would thank God, watch the universe perish without shedding a tear. I suggest somewhere that anyone who wishes to write, and has no aptitude for it, would be better off making shoes for ladies and boots for men. There is no rational commensuration between what affects us and what affects others. The first we sense physically, the other only touches us morally. This monster was outfitted with faculties so gigantic that even the broadest thoroughfares would still have appeared too narrow for him. One would have to lose one's wits to believe in a God, and to become a complete imbecile to adore him. A man learns nothing when he talks, he learns by listening, which is why those who talk the most are in the ordinary run of things, fools. That men cannot do without the absurd idea of an afterlife as a peculiar mania of mankind.